Hi, I'm attorney 𝐀𝐨𝐯𝐞. Welcome to Divorce Connection Network. Today I am so pleased to introduce you to Jianny Adamo. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Tammy. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the show. I am so excited to introduce all of you to Jianny because Jianny is here to talk about intimacy. Jianny has been in private practice for 7 years. She is the founder of the Fearless Love Relationship Coaching and Counseling, and she helps couples save marriages. And I'm all about trying to save marriages from divorce whenever we can. So when a couple is having intimacy issues, it is a great opportunity to refer them to Jianny so she can help them deepen the intimacy bonds so that they don't need to go down the divorce road. So thank you for coming, and I want you to tell our audience a little bit about what you do and 3 tips couples should consider in the area of intimacy before they even consider a divorce.
Tammy, as you know, I am a licensed mental health counselor here in the state of Florida, and I'm a licensed professional counselor in the state of New Jersey, and I've been in private practice for about 7 years working with marriage counseling. I became a certified relationship coach as well after moving to Florida, and with that I've been working with a lot of divorcees and singles to prepare them for a life of love in marriage that's committed and it's fulfilling and satisfying. My specialty really is for safe and intimate relationships, and what that means is we're going to define intimacy, and intimacy is to know and be known. So it's about 2 people being vulnerable and visible and open to one another and being able to share experiences and deep emotions with one another. This creates that oneness. So think back when we were dating, our husbands or boyfriends. Initially, when we first connected with them, we would be on the phone for like 3 hours, and we looked up at the time,
right.
And the time disappeared. That's your emotional intimacy, where there is no time. The moment is perfect, it's complete, and somehow along the road of marriage, sometimes that gets lost. So this is something I work with the couples to try to regain and recapture.
And that's important to consider because when you're first getting to know somebody, you want to tell them everything about yourself. You want to be naked in more than one way. You want to expose who you are, what you believe in, how you were brought up, what you did as a kid, and hope that the person you're sharing with will love who you are.
Yes.
As we progress in marriage, sometimes who we are changes. Sometimes we get so caught up in life, we're no longer in touch with our own feelings. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we get invalidated and told you shouldn't feel that way, and then we're afraid to express how we feel, and we start to think how we feel is wrong. So there's so many issues that could fog up the clear intimacy relationship,
mm-hmm.
right?
The visibility into one another.
So
Absolutely.
What can couples do to reconnect?
Actually, I want to talk about 2 types of intimacy status that people fall into that I get to see a lot in my practice. The first type of intimacy status is called pseudo-intimacy.
Pseudo.
Yes, pseudo-intimacy. And pseudo-intimacy is someone who values long-term relationships, someone who values marriage. They may have really good, solid values. They work hard. They really prioritize their family. However, there is a shell or a hard core around this individual that their partner cannot pierce through. You don't have access to their deeper emotions. You don't have access to their deeper experiences in life. So therefore, sometimes they come across as callous and insensitive. So this type of marriage, there is a lack of emotional intimacy, which for the female, when she's married to a man who has this core around him, and unfortunately there are a lot of men who fall into this category, she sometimes strays and actually has affairs in order to feel that deeper connection to another man, to another human being, to feel attractive and vulnerable again. So when there is this hardcore shell that cannot be pierced, then the intimacy is going to fall apart, especially for the female, because she needs emotional intimacy before she even needs sexual intimacy. And as we know, let me define intimacy also. Intimacy has two aspects. It has the sexual, physical aspect, to be known physically, and it also has the emotional component, which we talked about earlier, to be so visible and connected and close with another human being. The other category that I get to see a lot in my practice is called the merger category, or the merger status. And a lot of women fall in that category. When the studies were done, they did not fall into the pseudo-intimacy. Women have a great capacity for intimacy. We care and we nurture our loved ones. We can be so vulnerable. But the problem here lies that we lose ourselves. We forget to prioritize our needs. We forget to prioritize what's important to us. We always prioritize the children, the husband, the family, the extended family, the friends, and we put ourselves at the end, losing who we are, losing touch with ourselves. So a lot of my work when I work with the women is to empower them to truly understand who they are, what their heart's desires are, their needs, and be able to communicate these things and their priorities, their interests, with respect and care within their relationship. Because unfortunately, many times when they come to see me, they're full of resentment and they're full of anger, especially when they come to see you. And then that creates a huge blocker of intimacy in the relationship.
It would be nice if we could solve all of the intimacy problems here on one small show, but unfortunately we cannot. I can relate to the whole merger concept because we find ourselves trying to do everything for everybody. I am a firm believer, though, in me time. And even though a spouse may say, why do you need to go out with your girlfriends? Why don't you want to stay here with the family? Why is going out with your friends more important? These are all guilt, you know, and manipulation. The bottom line is, when you do take me time, whether it be to go out with your girlfriends, play cards, go to a spa, go for a walk, it doesn't really matter what you do. That me time does two things. One is it helps you regenerate so you could be a better merger, right? You could be a better mother and a wife and a daughter. But it also helps you, alone time helps you to get more in touch with what your needs are so that you are able to communicate when you're together. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. Not only does it help you to connect with yourself again, it helps you to replenish your energy and continue to give as we normally do. We give unconditionally. We are just full of love, and we want to always fulfill the needs of everybody around us. But the only way that's going to happen for us to stay happy and continue to give is for us to take a pause and take time for ourselves, to replenish, to pleasure ourselves, whether it's going to the beach, taking a yoga class, doing an aromatherapy massage or a bubble bath, something that brings us pleasure, something that brings us rest, something that we enjoy, or just playtime for ourselves. Go and play.
Right. I like play. Play is good. You know, laughing is good. Smiling is good. Being happy is good. All of those things are good. If you could give our audience one tip that they could do tonight to be more intimate with each other or connect in a more intimate way, what would that one tip be?
I would actually recommend an appreciation exercise.
I love that.
The appreciation exercise is composed of you expressing one or more things that you appreciate about your partner. Then you tell them why that's important to you, or why is it important to you, or what does it mean to you? And then you express to them how that makes you feel when he or she does that. How does that make you feel? And then you reciprocate, so your partner then goes and expresses something they appreciate about you.
I think that should be done every night at the dinner table.
Absolutely.
I love appreciation. You know, when I was going through my divorce, I had a list of all the things I was grateful for. And I focused on that every single day, because even though I was angry and even though things weren't working out the way I envisioned them, I still wanted to be thankful and grateful for all the great things that my marriage brought me, even though it ended. And I still try to focus on what I'm grateful for. And I look at my beautiful son and my 3 beautiful stepchildren every day, and I have a lot to be grateful for. What a great tip. Tonight, go home and tell your spouse one thing that you are appreciative of. And do it every night and see what happens. Try it for 30 days. If you want to reach Jianny, you can find her at divorceconnectionnetwork.com. Her picture, her contact, and her email will be there. Please join us again for our next episode of Divorce Connection Network.